Pixels.cool.
Welcome to you. In this 7th explainer, we're going to create a specific type of animation called waypoint animation. This will be applied to a police car in our city scene, which is going to race along a predetermined route at speed. We're going to use a paid asset called DoTween Pro. Start by adding it to your account from the Unity Asset Store in the usual way. Let's start by adding the DoTween asset to our project. As always, make sure you review any advisory messages as you go. Let's select this police car. Next, let's add a DoTween path component to it. Start by typing DoTween and select the path option. I'm going to delete this car here, as this is where I'd like my police car to start its journey. Next, let's move the police car to this location. Use the orientation tool at the top right of the scene window. This gives us a perfect top-down view to plan our route. Looks a bit like GTA back in the day before it went fully 3D. The path we're going to create for the cop car will take it around the back of the block, through the car park, and around again. As you can see in the inspector, holding down Shift and Control while clicking will add a waypoint. This is a single point on the route you want the car to pass through. Let's draw a simple loop by adding a number of waypoints, a bit like this. If it all goes wrong, you can obviously start again or remove individual waypoints by using Shift, Alt and clicking. To ensure a perfect loop, in Path Tween options, check Close Path. The default loop time is just 1 second, which is going to give us a ridiculously fast car, so let's change that to 10. Before making any additional changes, play the scene and just watch the car animate. Okay, so we've got two obvious issues. It's moving in a really jerky way and the vehicle doesn't actually turn at any point. Start by changing the path type field from linear to Catmull ROM, and the path is now curved. Next, let's change the orientation for the car to path. Let's play the scene back again. That's looking much better. Next, try adding a small amount of look ahead just to see what it does. In case it's not obvious, this gives a more realistic driving path with the driver sliding into corners as they preempt them. Of course, you can pick up and drag individual waypoints until you're happy with your loop. A final tweak for now, let's change the ease to in-out sign and just see what it does. Objects rarely go from a standing start to full speed motion. This now gives us a realistic acceleration and deceleration effect, as you can see. Finally, you may have noticed the police car is just driving straight through other vehicles on our roads. This can be resolved by adding a rigid body to any vehicles you want the cops to bump into, and tweaking the mass settings. Now, if you're thinking, wow, it's going to take ages to get this working for all the vehicles in my city, you're right. Search the Asset Store for Traffic Simulator. There are lots of simulators available to help you manage all of your traffic flow, and you'll only need to change some key variables. Finally, the DoTween Pro asset is capable of far more than just creating waypoint paths. You can tween between almost any object property. Search online to get the most out of it. In our final explainer in this series, we're going to add a soundtrack to accompany our journey around the city, as well as attaching sounds to individual objects.
Pixels.cool.